Alright, so I'm going to give a quick overview of how I've been playing Warrior. Hopefully this can help anybody out. Level 89 right now. I've been playing this for maybe like 10 or so levels. Not a lot of armor, as you can see, only 49%, 71% block. Could probably use more block. Maxed out all my resistances as much as I could get them. You can see them overmax on this, but it's for a purpose. A little bit over on here. It would be nice to. I like to keep them at least 10 over, maybe 15, just in case you have to do one of those elemental resistance maps where the mobs will attack with extra elemental resistances, or they ignore, or whatever the case is, because some of those maps can be kind of crappy. Let me just throw this crap into here. Not that. The basics, though, is that you can get into this build pretty early on. Doesn't cost a ton. You don't have to have the exact same things. You just have to figure out your itemization. The main player for mitigation is going to be the Cloak of Flame Soak Robe. It transfers 47% of physical damage taken as fire. I don't know what the maxes are on these. I just tried to get one that was high for that and high fire resist. You need 47 int to run it. You can run it at level 22. I imagine it's great during the game. I was running a max stacked armor build in the game. I'm not even sure if I have the thing over here. Yeah, I was running this one for a while. Had this one, then I had this one, and it felt great until you get one shot. And obviously my health is pretty low. But even going through the campaign, there would be other things that would one-shot until I got resistances up and whatnot. Then going into maps, I go in with 90% armor after scavenge plating, and I'm still getting trucked. Switching to a shield rather than dual wielding is great. Shield passive block helps out a lot, takes a lot of the little stuff off. But for the big hits, this is going to transfer a lot of your physical damage over into fire damage, and then you use your fire resist to mitigate it. That's kind of the basics of it. And then your cold, lightning, and chaos, you're getting those up just so you don't die to hopefully stupid crap. But usually lightning is the stuff that's still going to one-shot me or get close to one shot. Not using mana, using health pool for energy as God intended for warriors. And you get that over here, blood magic. So use this for passive tree stuff, just to hit it up real quick. You're going to get extra elemental resistances here, and you're going to increase your max resistances. Also, you're going to hit these block nodes. This is what I did. You can do whatever you want to, but area of effect damage, block nodes. I like the rage, titanic strength. Or this is stun build up stuff. There's rage node somewhere. There is rage on hit somewhere. This one. So rage on hit by an enemy. You're going to get a hit, and it's not going to hurt, so might as well get free rage out of it. And the little mobs basically just stack up all your damage by you just kind of chaining them along. This one, I'm not even sure if it does anything now that I have max fire, so I might pull it off and then see what happens if I take it off. But that doesn't feed into my fire resist. This is what you're looking for uncapped fire resistances. That's why I went to 240 plus. This plus the plus ones and these elementals over here, that and the gear obviously will get you to 90. So basically every 40, why can't I hit the button right? There we go. Every 40 on the gear is going to get you to 2% max on here. You want to get an additional physical damage reduction shield. That would be great. I think 8s are really expensive or rare to get now. I got this, I don't know, probably a week ago or something like that. And I want to say it was a divine at the time. I'm not sure. Most of the gear that I'm wearing is only going to be a divine max if it was like something really specific that I needed, and I was willing to pay that. But I didn't come into a ton of divines. I think like right now I've got 4. 2 or 3 were from selling something recently. I sold an amulet, a unique amulet for someone's build, whatever they're doing with sorcerers. I don't play the other ones because they're not melee and they're not warriors. So what we got right now is this is some trading and some sales, and divine here, or 4 divine, but I've gotten probably 6 divine drops while playing through. The lowest map I ever got one on was a 2, but most of the time that I've gotten them, they've been in 13, 14, 15, 16, up to whatever. I think T15s are considered to be. Did one a little bit ago. It was, I think, like this with a 16 corrupted map is an 18. I think that's how they're calling it. I didn't play PoE 1, so I'm just trying to pick up what they're saying. +2 levels on melee skills helps. Honestly, like, I should have gotten more life on a lot of my stuff. I just didn't really think about it at the time until I started dying. But I'm not going to re-switch all my gear. I'm just going to have to play around it. So, lightning resist, chaos resist, fire cold resist, strength. I've got some stats on here. +3 to melee, heavy weaponry because it's cheaper, and I like the extra strength. That's just distilling an amulet, which is pretty simple. You just go to, once you get these, you can buy them on the trade, but you get, you get like 3 of these guys. We'll just say these distilled ire. It's not going to actually make anything. You right click it, you drop them in like that, you put an amulet, and then it's going to tell you what you get on there. I guess it does make something. So it gives you a free passive that doesn't have to connect to your tree. You just right click these guys, it opens this thing up. Took me forever. I thought it was an actual bench somewhere. Couldn't find it online. And then I finally found one guy that said, yeah, you just right click them. So felt stupid. But there you go. There's that. Other little quick things. When you come in, you got some stuff that's not been identified. You just right control click and then left click Doriani. It will just automatically identify your stuff. Shift click or control click Doriani goes there. Alt click will pull up the sales window for him. Control click on this one will open up disenchant. Alt click opens up the sales, so you don't have to click and then come down here and do that if you're twitchy. But salvage bench, whatever, you do your thing. Nothing too crazy. So other than that, for the gear, you're looking to get your resistances maxed. However you have to do that with whatever you get. You're going to get a shit ton from fire resist here. So that's freaking 58%, plus I put a fire resist in there. When I bought it, the guy had already corrupted it with the open socket, but it had good fire resist stats on there. It was mainly the physical damage taken as fire was at 47%. So that's what I wanted, was that high physical as fire transfer, to get as much out of it as I can. Been reading that apparently armor has decent DR, but also what I hated was it this one? What I hated was that I had this piece that I thought was going to be awesome. Worked pretty well, but 2300 armor on there. Put that thing in there, and I'm at 71%, right? So that gives me a ton of armor, and then you get the increased passives to armor and all that stuff. But I spent a bunch on this thing, and then I still go in and I take more damage than just having that with 49. So this gives me 22% armor, and you can enhance that with your armor passives. But 22%, and with armor passives, that's 7,000 whatever. When I had all the armor passives, and I'm wearing this guy, and I had a higher armor helmet, this was at 13,000 armor, and you're spending a lot of passive points and everything to get to 13,000 in your additional modifiers for your armor, just for it to do like 82% reduction, and then found out it's not even 82% reduction. It's like 82% for the little crappy mobs that you don't even have to worry about anyways, but the big hitters, they still crush you. So with 2,000 health, I just get dropped. So switching this guy out, now I don't get dropped by the big hits. It gives me enough time to at least heal up or something. Either way, trying to rush through it because I already did this one time, and I think I recorded my voice too quiet, so I don't want to spend too much time. Regular belt, there's probably good +2 charms. I don't care about the charms, really. There's the freeze, but I don't usually get stunned or anything except for just frozen. But yeah, with the shield, you don't really build up. It seems you don't build up stun as much. Stun threshold here. I like the movement speed. Strength, lightning resist. +2, +2. just resistances. This chaos damage mana does nothing for me, but it was the only one that had the right amount of fire, lightning, chaos to finish out the build for me, so I bought it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Life Flask upgraded that, so 1800 over 4 seconds. Get 10 charges out of it, or 10 uses out of it. So that's not too bad. Yeah, so did I finish this one? We'll see. This might be completed. Yeah, it's complete. Alright, we'll just do another one. But do like a standard-ish 15 pack size, monster damage, chaos, that might hurt. Probably shouldn't die when I'm showing this off, but energy shield, elemental resistances. Where's a 15? What's this one? We got this one. Patch and shock round, 25 steel power, or whatever. Yeah, let's add some more to that one. Wait. Yep. See how crappy it gets. Is this one any good? Chains, I hate being slow. 15, strongbox. Well, that didn't make them that hard. Whatever, we'll just run that one. So hopefully it's a success. Try it on this one. So this one's Radiated Corrupted with a 15. I think that makes it 17. Don't know. But they all have like 82, level 82, and except for elemental damage or increased elemental damage stuff, they're not too terrible with this. But you're about to see why it all plays out well, because when we run Magma Barrier, which is the basis of this, going ignited, this makes it a spell apparently, because it adds the additional lets me use these spell gems, which increase more damage by 30%, more of effect, and 40% more spell hits. They just can't deal crits, but I don't really care about that. We're just going to throw waves of lava at them. Your shouts, you're using the buffs into your shouts, so fire exposure, sure. Culling strike is kind of nice. So it basically just makes whatever ability you do get culling strike. Gain rage, 40% more skill effect duration. I don't even know why this is on there, but it doesn't matter. Things will still die. Shockwave totem is kind of like your best friend. Covers your back. If you get stunned, he's going to kill everything that's around you. So if you get mobbed and you can't get your shield up, or you get stunned or frozen, it'll probably take him out before you have to worry. More physical damage. Placement speed makes it quick, so you don't have to take passives and stuff. You just put one little support gem, and it does like everything that all the passive nodes would do for you. Plus one of physical skills, so you get a good amount of damage. Kind of breezed over this, but it's a decent weapon. Was great for me. Didn't cost me a ton, but you don't need all that to make this work. But it still works pretty well. So yeah, let's see. We got recovery rate, so this casts every 3 seconds. That's your shield charge to like kind of engage if you want to. And then the main damage things are going to be your Magma Barrier, but Sunder. I love Sunder in the one shot, critical damage bonus. This one, I do less area. I don't use all the other stuff that people are doing with like the aftershocks and all that stuff, because you just want one really big hit, as high damage as possible for the bosses, because you're primarily using on bosses, and you can sit here and cast all day long if you want to on mobs and do that and then get killed. You can see the area effect is really small, but we use it to one-shot bosses. So 35% more melee physical damage, less attack speed. Doesn't matter, because when we use it on a boss, they're going to be stunned. So you could have 40% less attack speed, and it won't matter. 25% damage is fire. You'll see how much this jumps up. So it's 90,000. You get 15,000 extra as fire, plus the fire damage is going to feed into the overall damage. Then you got critical damage bonuses up. So I got critical damage bonus at 300%. This gives you a flat 100%. You don't care about the less critical hit chance, because you're going to get a guaranteed crit by having their armor broken. Once you break their armor, that's the end of it. It just hits. I want to say it hits for about the first one before your seismic. So on its own, it's probably going to hit, like the first shock is going to hit for maybe 600, 700,000, something like that. And then you're going to get Ignite off of it because we empower it with Infernal Cry. Seismic Cry is going to build up all the other modifiers on there. So you got plus 15 more damage to it. Then War Cries consume up 10 rage causing attacks empowered by them to do 30 more damage. So use that. So 30% more by using this on a boss. Plus, when you empower your next slam to perform plus additional attack for endurance, right? All you have to do is if a heavy stunned enemy is hit, your next slam is empowered to perform an additional aftershock. We don't run aftershock because we're going to get guaranteed aftershocks. We don't need to put passives and points into all that stuff because they don't really do anything. I'd rather like the guarantee than the proc, and we're going to guarantee aftershocks anytime we want to on mobs, on bosses, whatever. So that's just by getting a heavy stun, using Seismic Cry, guaranteed aftershock. That's it. Any mob will proc it for you. It doesn't have to be the one that you're actually attacking. Infernal Cry is going to buff your stuff. Shockwave Totem, you can see on one of these mobs, like Shockwave Totem's. Nice try. Well, that was the Magma barrier block, but like, so it would take damage, but it's not a ton. You kind of do more damage to yourself than they do. But this is what it looks like. Obviously, you can get stuck with that frost, so you still got to roll every once in a while. But when you want to kill them, you just do that. You just use Magma Barrier. You block with your shield, does a massive explosion. That's because of the increased area effect stuff. Just blows them up. I mean, your hits do pretty good. You get the stuns really quick if you run stun build. And then we got charge in, get the stun. That's the guaranteed aftershock here, and this is what it looks like. That's the guaranteed aftershock. So massive area whenever you stampede doing this. And then you just turn on your block. You just press block and they die. And then if they don't die, their friends will kill them by blowing up. So totem you can throw down, you can roll through, you can kind of just mess around with them. We're still running Hammer of the Gods too, but I feel like it's a long cast time. Kind of use it to kill rares real quick, or just drop it on a rare that's annoying. But with 30% movement speed and just dodging the frost, you can kind of just kite them around. Technically, your totem will kill all of them. Just wait for the totem to go if he's not frozen to death. Or if I'm not getting pushed out into the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you just press your Magma Barrier, it lights up orange, and they die. That's the end of them. It hits a good amount. If we find a rare, hit a one-shot rares too on a 15. As long as they don't have like a ton of resist or something weird. Massive energy shield. Air effect also helps your hammer hit from further away, so you can technically... What is going on? You can technically hit this guy from back here. Like that hits the back line too because of the shock. So your shock wave on your hits is wider by going air of effect area damage. But yeah, you charge in. That gets you if it gets you a stun on any of them, like any of them don't die from shield slam, then you get the guaranteed aftershock with seismic, which costs you like nothing. And I've got seismic down. I'll show you a second. Get all these guys up. So if we charge here, so we stun some of them. So we do seismic cry, and then from here we can legitimately just kill everything. Just big ol' shock. Because every time they're getting stunned as you charge in, any of them that get stunned are going to cause a shockwave to everybody else. So that's just from the passives. Yeah, so you just kind of cruise through and block them to death if you want to. Or you can be active and charge, stun. Basically, you just want to annoy the shit out of the mobs because they've spent 20 levels killing you for no reason until you figure out how to get resistances up. So sometimes you just... I mean, you're hitting like pretty far away with the Stampede. And this isn't like a super hard map or anything. Some of them get like really juiced up where mobs are doing a lot. But on the ones... Oh, I should have showed you on that one. You can kill the range guys pretty easy with this too. So like these guys, just melt the whole group because your block blocks ranged as well. So all you need is like one of them to hit your shield, and then everything will die. And Totem can kind of clear you out. Like, let's say we're getting body blocked and we can't get out of here because I'm not running Leap Slam because I'm not running away. Then we charge in, boom, hit them with a Stampede, crush them, punch them. It's pretty simple, but yeah, Totem will cover you pretty well. Like if you just can't get the block off, you get stunned out of it. But you can just kind of spam this thing, and it melts everything. Like these aren't even hits. This is so like there's a decent amount going on here. Just melt it all with a shield. That's how Warrior was meant to be played. I mean, there's probably like better builds, but this one's just fun that you can kind of give it back to them a little bit after they've been trashing you for the whole game. But this hammer, so it uses a shit ton of health to do it too. When you're using that one, you can down skill all your stuff if you want, but it's mainly that's the reason why I'd want to have more health, so you can just stand in front of a boss and not take damage. But the big boss hits too, you can tank a decent amount of those. Not the one-shot ones that they tell you to dodge, but some of the big slams you can eat. Could eat a lot more of them if you had higher health, but yeah, this is just trying to show this stuff. Normally kind of clear a lot faster so you don't waste your time. But that's about it. And you get the, now we're gonna get that free shockwave, pretty sure. And it's just a very large AoE, and part of the passive talents is like when you get a stun, it increases your area of effect. So you get a stun as soon as you hit these guys. So you're gonna get that increased area of effect, and you're basically just screen clearing with it. It's not hard to get to. It's support gems. I mean, support gems and leveling up your skills are going to give you the most with a good weapon. Your shield, obviously, you want like something that's going to actually block stuff. But I know people are like, oh, I need a ton of armor and blah, blah, blah. I don't really think you do. As far as the shield is concerned, you want some. But I think if you get Flame Soak Robe and you run a decent armor shield with 40-something% block, you can get the block through passives, you can get the rest of it. Not too bad. But yeah, the little mobs, as long as there's not a lot of elemental, you can just take them all day long pretty much. Then nothing's really going to happen because you're passive blocking most of it, and your armor and flame shield or flame robe are taking care of the rest. So that's about it. But I think I went over everything pretty much, but yeah, I like Shockwave Totem to cover the butt. Infernal Cry into Seismic is really good. If you want to be able to do more damage in AoE and not worry about the Aftershock, or you want to engage and not have to worry about the stun, use Infernal Cry when you get near them, Stampede in. After that, you're going to do fire damage, everything. It will all die. If you want to Shield Charge in to get that initial stun, you can Shield Charge in, Seismic Cry, which is going to give you the Aftershock. Do them both, doesn't matter, and then go. But the Sunder one-shot is pretty simple. You get to a boss, which, did we clear this? No, we didn't finish it yet. You get to a boss, and you're going to just get him to a full stun. Once you get a full stun, they're not going to have armor broken unless you have armor break. So you can use, like, armor breaker, this ability, which is great because at level 18, 19, on most bosses, it's like 1 or 2 hits, usually 1, and they're full armor broken. So you hit them with one of those, and you just sunder them, and that's it. And if you want the guaranteed crit, they just need armor broken. That's it. So you fully break armor, they die. And I don't think I have any bosses loaded up. I'm trying to find the copper tower or whatever that thing's called. Got the other two, and they weren't too bad. Like I was like real passive doing it because I thought it was going to be hard, and it was just fine. Because you can one-shot Doriani in there with Sunder one-shot. Because effectively you're getting about 600-700 damage from the guaranteed crit, and then it follows up again because you've got your Seismic Slam. Because you just basically stun Doriani, break his armor, you do your double shouts, fire and then Seismic, and then you get a guaranteed crit with fire damage that ignites, plus a follow-up aftershock for the same amount. Ends up being somewhere between like, I don't know, I'd say like 1.8 and 2.5 mil that you're doing in that damage. So the hardest part is just getting him stunned, which you can do a variety of ways. Or you just do armor break and sunder over and over and don't worry about, you know, one-shotting him with or getting the double with seismic. Just still kill him really fast. It's all kind of boring to show, but just kind of hoping that would be like some stronger, like rare boss. These guys are always annoying, so I always make it a point to kill them. Just even if I don't need to, I hate them. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, you just press Magma Shield to block, so you can just stand here and obviously, you know, these guys are punks because they just freeze and they suck and then they disappear. That's why I run the Frost Charm, literally because of these, or the anti-freeze charm, just because these guys are stupid. Nobody likes them. Whoever designed them probably needs to get taken out back. Because they're probably the worst mobs in the game. You'd be doing perfectly fine, and then one of those little guys just fucking shits on you. They do no damage, they freeze you, you die. So I don't think my computer is good enough to handle videotaping this and playing. But yeah, that's map complete. So it can go a lot faster if you're not talking, and it will also go quicker if you don't just spend your whole time just shield blocking for Magma Barrier. But effectively, for one ability, one passive, you have the ability to map clear nonstop and block and have all your passive abilities. You can literally go through the whole game just using Magma Barrier, and you could probably like stack the ignite duration thing on there, or ailments or whatever, if you want to just do like boss burns where you're not worried about the hit attack, but you just want to burn the boss, run around and dodge and have them constantly dripping health. Yeah, Magma Barrier as a whole on a boss, I mean, I think it probably hits for about 80,000 or so with the block, and then you get the ignite on top of that. So because it's not really hitting, it's just proccing off of there, but it's because it scales so hard for a block. 1032 attack damage. There's no way it's this damage because you'll one-shot rares that have, I don't know, I'm assuming 40-ish to 40 to 100,000 health, so nothing too crazy, but like Sunder, any of these abilities will take them out in one shot, so it's got to be less than that. This takes like 5, so we'll call it 120,000 health that they might have, and Magma Barrier will just one-shot them, so not including the ignite and the explosions afterwards. So yeah, if you got any questions, that's it. I think I covered most of the stuff. Stack your skill points up, get some support gems in there, and this one, quality it up, because you get like 0.2 extra seconds of block, so it just lasts longer for that block instead of a half second. Effectively, you just block, and then you have to let off and redo it again. So you have like a half second delay, so you can hold your block down and then just switch over. You can attack cancel with it, so you can make your attacks faster and still block. That's it. Yep. Good luck.